know a girl lived down there, and she'd go out in the evenings and pick her a mess of it, carry it home and cook it.
All right.
Because that's about all
Poke
they
salad.
eat.
You ever had any poke salad, Mike?
I'm not sure. I ate some turnip greens one time that made me kind of sick, but it may have been poke salad.
Hey, that's some good soul food right there now. That's what we need. Daniel's trying to get Bob Seeley back on the line. We had a little trouble connecting with Mr. Bob, but we finally got him, and we're going to talk a little bit about, Mike, this particular tournament series, the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash Series. Have you ever seen anything as big as this?
I have not. I can remember years ago, one of the first big bass tournaments I fished, I went to the first day, had never been to one. I showed up there that morning and stood on the bank in amazement. I launched my boat. I went out. There were so many people on the water, I got freaked out. I loaded up and left and went home.
You got scared?
I did. I did. I chickened out. I had never
That ain't
seen.
very good publicity, Turkey.
Well, no. I'm talking about. I had just never seen that many people show up to fish a tournament. I was used to just fishing little small club tournaments and stuff, and it was. I was just in awe, and it still amazes me what Bob has done to put together such a quality big event like this. It's unbelievable.
And it's not just a bunch of hodgepodge. This is a class event. This is not just a little old country big bass tournament, folks. This is a big time. It is truly an event, Mike. It's not just a regular tournament.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. Anything that's not run well starts off with a bang and ends up with a fizzle. It gets smaller and smaller every year. Bob Seeley's Big Bass is the 180 degrees the other direction.
Yep.
Started off good,
right,
but every year Bob pulls some rabbit out of the hat,
right,
to make this bigger and better. I'm
glad you said hat.
Your hat. I mean, the Bob Seeley stuff, it really, in the tournament industry, is probably the only thing that I can think of right now that's bigger than it was 10 or 15 years ago.
I agree. I totally agree. And speaking of Mr. Bob Seeley, we got him on the phone. Bob, we know you're with us because we can hear you.
Well, I'm kind of in shock.
Hey, let me tell you, there's never a dull moment with this program, and but we're tickled to death to have you back on board, Mr. Bob. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day because you got a huge event taking place. I know you're over in Tyler, Texas, doing some registration, aren't you?
Well, matter of fact, I just finished the registration at Academy Sports and Outdoors in Tyler, and just to get a bite to eat. Then I'm heading to Longview. We'll be there from 6 to 7 o'clock tonight doing registration, and matter of fact, we got some folks from Louisiana, I think from Shreveport, coming over to Longview tonight to get registered. And so, yep, we're plugging right along. This is our 24th year at Lake Fork.
Wow, is it good? Mike, that doesn't even seem possible.
I didn't even think Lake Fork was 24 years old.
I didn't either. I mean, I'm just 24 years. Are you serious, Bob?
And the only reason why I say that is because I got 24 more gray hairs.
Oh, okay. Well, you would know that. That just doesn't even. It's hard to believe that this has been going on that long. But hey,
actually,
my hat's off to you.
The McDonald's Big Bass Splash has been going on actually 26 years now. Because, we started at Lake Sam Rayburn.
Right. And, of course, last year you had that big blowout tournament, the 25th anniversary tournament.
That was a record-breaking year for the whole fishing industry. That was the largest tournament that's ever been held in fishing history.
Really?
And guess what? I've already announced it that 2014 I'm doing another $1 million event, guaranteed, with our 30th anniversary, and it should be bigger than and better than any of them it's ever been.
Now, what lake's it going to be on?
That'll be on Rayburn. That's
going to be on Rayburn.
Granddaddy of them all. That's where it all started. So
that's where you're going.
That's where we got to be.
That's as good a place as any I can think of.
Yeah.
Just a great.
But you know what's unique about Lake Fork?
What's that?
It's a slot lake.
Exactly.
You got 16 to 24. It may be a big bass splash, but it's really little bass for cash.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and Randy Fair were fishing an old honey hole big bass tournament over there 10 or 12 years ago. I have never fished so hard for a .88 in my entire lifetime as and that won $250 for a big bass of the hour. A .88.
That's a kicker fish for me.
Oh, yeah. We actually, we pay 12 places every hour. Well, last year, for the whole 3 days, we only had 11 fish that hit 24 inches or better. Everything else was 16 inches and under. And I think that the smallest fish that cashed a $200 check was a .91.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
So, it's anybody's ball game.
Well, Bob,
it's about an even playing field as you can get.
we read an article last week. There was a report out by the Texas Parks and Wildlife that came out last week. Lake Fork is back on fire again. They are registering and more big fish this year than they have in 10 years. In the last 10 years, the big fish are definitely on the rise over there. I look for this event you're fixing to have. You could have some really. It could be a record-breaking event for Lake Fork.
Well, if let's see, this happened about, I think, 9 years ago. We actually had an Oklahoma State trooper to catch the biggest bass that has ever been weighed in a fishing tournament in fishing history, and it weighed 15.64 pounds.
Wow.
The only problem is he had to withdraw it.
Wow.
So it didn't count. Well, unfortunately, everybody in the boat, there's got to be a paid contestant. And he had his wife in the boat with him, and he just didn't pay her entry fee. And it cost him $45,000.
Oh, my gosh.
All he had to do was just pay a one-day entry fee for her, and would have, he would have won. But that was an awesome fish.
Hey, Bob, let me tell you something, Bob. I hate to interrupt you, but just about 3 minutes ago, I was telling Steve this story. I had heard the story about the Oklahoma State trooper catching the fish, I think, the first day, Friday, and being DQ'd because of his wife being in the boat, reading a book, not fishing, and it's probably printed, 5 times in the entry form that every participant must be a paid entry. So it was a very unfortunate incident. But that's the other thing that goes back to you. Here's a set of rules. We're going to stand by the rules, and everybody plays by the rules. But it was just about. Yeah, Steve will tell you just about 3 minutes before you came on the air, I told that story. So that was ironic.
Bob, stick with us. True story. Yeah, well, I want you to stick with us. We're going to go another segment with you. I got some questions for you, and want to plus get you a chance to plug this Lake Fork tournament a little bit more, and also plug kind of what may be coming up for 2011 with the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash Series. Folks, you're listening to AM 1130 KWKH, and this is Hooking Up
and Tracking Down.
We'll be right back.